So I've done a video in the past on tarot readings and, everyone is pushed out. But I really wanted to go a bit deeper with all of that. So basically, everything that you experience in your reality is your inner world showing itself on the outside. So everything that you see is a mirror reflection of your beliefs. And as you start to change your beliefs, those things will change too. This, as I've said before in other videos, includes tarot readings because, they tell so I did a video before on time. So there's different snapshots of time. So whatever energy you're in now affects your future and it affects your past. So that's the same as when you have a tarot reading. So whatever snapshot of time you're in, your tarot reading will represent that snapshot. I mean, there are, every reading has some form of accuracy and it's showing you things inside of yourself. So if you're fearful and there's so many different levels to it as well. Like, for example, you might have a belief that a specific reader always gives you a good reading. So, when you go to that reader, the belief is they give you a good reader. If you go to a reader or some kind of thing where you think, I know that they're always really harsh, then you're going in with the belief that they're going to be really harsh. So you've got your beliefs on the actual reader, then you've got your beliefs on the topic and the subject and any fears. And the biggest problem with all these things is that anything that we take from our reality and we react to, we're adding it to our belief system unless we actively choose to change our belief system. So tarot cards are a really good reference, but it's not just that. It might be that you're searching for articles, for example. I think I said that in my last video, that I desperately searched for, when I first started this journey and I just felt these overwhelming feelings for this person and I just couldn't let them go, and I thought of them obsessively all the time. I kind of did everything I could. I, tried all the ways of letting go. I tried all the ways of manifesting and found out all about twin flames. And like I said, I couldn't find anything on successful twin flame unions. I couldn't find anything on successfully manifesting specific people. All the advice was kind of like, well, you shouldn't really because of XYZ reasons, which was in line with my beliefs at the time. So as I've changed my beliefs, now there's loads and loads of articles I find all the time, and quite often they're dated back to 2007, which is way before I woke up spiritually or started searching for any of that stuff. So the information was there, it just I wasn't seeing it in my snapshot of nowness because it wasn't in alignment with my future or past in that particular snapshot, because it didn't match up with my beliefs. So your beliefs in your now snapshot are affecting your future and your past. It's why we get people showing up from the past and being like, that you thought didn't care about you, and they suddenly say, oh my God, I was crazy about you, but I had XYZ fear. Because you're now in the snapshot that allows them to be that person rather than the person that rejected you or didn't like you. Like, it happens all the time. And it has to feel kind of seamless, so we create it to be seamless because it's, easier for us to digest. And the future will also change, which is hence why, I've tested this. I used to actually read tarot cards, and even though I had some idea of being the creator of your reality, I still didn't fully get it. And I used to read tarot cards, and they were always incredibly accurate, and I used to go for readings that were incredibly accurate, but then they were very inaccurate with long-term results. But they actually also changed my beliefs, and that's where the Bible, because the Bible's all about understanding yourself as God and your I amness and your words basically creating your reality. Like, there's hints of this all over the Bible, and the Bible was very much against astrology, tarot cards, and this is why, because it takes away your I amness. Actually, if you can read your own tarot cards and you can genuinely be unattached to them, and I think I said this in another video, and you cannot emotionally react, Well, it's okay to emotionally react to things you desire, because then you're making them real. But if you can truly not react to the stuff you don't want to hear and use it as a tool to be like, I'm creating that, so I'm going to go away and that's not a reality, I'm going to affirm the opposite. If you read for yourself, you can test it, because you can read for yourself when you're in different states of being. Now, for a lot of people, they just stay in a very, very similar state all the time, which is why a lot of readings can happen or whatever, because they're not really changing. Whereas when we start to really consciously change our beliefs and we start to consciously affirm and create, that's when our belief systems, can kind of go all over the shop, because we're changing very quickly. And that's why you can start to test this thing, and you can do readings for yourself based in various states, and you'll notice that they completely change to match your state, to match your fears, to show you your triggering, to show you like basically what your current snapshot is likely to bring in. And they also change the past as well, because that's why you'll have one reading and it'll be like, oh, this person's actually narcissistic, abusive, whatever other kind of creature they are, loser that you don't want to connect to, but they're going to do this in the future. And then you might go to another reader and she's like, oh, this is a really beautiful soul. They're completely and utterly in love with you, but they just can't because of X, Y, Z. It's because all those paths are a possibility, but they all depend on your current state. So your current state affects the past, it affects the future. And this is why tarot readings are all over the shop when you're in the process of growing and evolving and changing your beliefs rapidly. But this is the same with everything. And it's so easy to get lost down this rabbit hole, because the thing is, if you start down the tarot reading rabbit hole and you're not really, really conscious as you're doing it, it's really easy to fall asleep, which I think is why the Bible describes it as it does, because then you start to take the words in and you start to make them more and more real, and they become a reality. And then you tell the story, and then the story becomes a reality. So you have to be very, very good at staying detached from reacting, to use that method of, checking in on your reality. But I believe if they're being used in that way, then it's a lot more healthy than, seeking guidance outside of yourself. Because anything you seek outside of yourself, the reason it's a problem is it's you. And it's your current belief. So every time you seek a thing outside of yourself, it's mirroring back the current beliefs you have about your reality. So you're only going to get that back. So the only way of changing it is changing inside, and then you'll be aligned to that outside. So it's doing it completely wrong to try and get the guidance from outside of yourself. The only thing we should be using the 3D world for is enjoyment and observing what it's showing us that we don't want, so that we can change that inside and have a different reality and a different past and a different future. So yeah, all these things that that's why we have to be so careful what we're reading and watching, because we can put it into our subconscious, we can take on those belief systems. So with reading articles and stuff that are not your own, and not finding the information inside of yourself, you are just being mirrored back the information that you believe. So just be aware of that if everything you're reading says, this is difficult, this is really hard, this is impossible, this is this way, like that's just a belief system that you're vibrating on or whatever, and you're allowing yourself to experience. As soon as you allow yourself to have a different belief system, then the information you read will be a different belief system. So good things to affirm if you want to research stuff is, I am always learning new things and evolving higher and finding ways, at least you're then affirming those things into your reality. So yeah, I just wanted to put that video out. So everything, be really careful with what you're reading and taking on. It's okay to read stuff, take away bits and work on your own growth, but just remember that the things that you're reading outside of yourself are just a projection of your beliefs inside, and you're the one that gets to choose whether you let them grow and expand and become bigger beliefs, or whether you allow you decide to yourself, actually, I'm going to nip that one in the bud because that's not a belief system I want, and I'm going to change that. And then you'll see that everything that comes into your reality, it's the same with signs, synchronicities. They're just you showing yourself that you're starting to create something and it's not quite there yet. So I hope that video resonates with some of you, and yeah, it's the same with me as well. So if you're watching me, then I'm likely showing you some of your own beliefs as well. Maybe, like, I often find that, like, that often I'll come to a new, I'm having a mental block. It's not, like, a new, when you experience a really easy word that I obviously know, but when you have one of those breakthrough moments and you have an insight, was the word that I wanted to say, you'll often find that then, I've found this a lot lately, I'll be talking to somebody and they suddenly come to the same insight themselves, and that's because your world is mirroring you, so they're coming to the insight at the same time. So I guess, you know, a lot of people, when you watch the videos and you're watching other people's videos and people are watching my videos, will likely be sort of having similar beliefs and insights to be able to interact and watch them. So yeah, I hope that resonated, and yeah, I'll be back soon.